Good morning. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. We do have an update for you regarding the alert day today for the excessive rainfall and, of course, the high risk for flash flooding, as well as river flooding, as well as the potential for some severe weather later on tonight, and the new potential for some backside snow as this exits on Sunday. So, quite the handful of different things to go over here with you on this update here with you live. Of course, we're continuing our broadcast coverage here of this potentially, we'll reserve that wording, but a very rare event unfolding, especially for the February timeframe in our state. So, of course, as you're coming in, if you would not mind, by my mouse here, tap that share button at the bottom portion of your screen. If they're over there on Facebook, on YouTube, of course, you can share the broadcast as well. I'm not really sure where the share button is on YouTube. Uh, but again, I think it's extremely critical that we share as much of this information as possible, making sure everyone's getting updated on what to expect. We do have some minor changes to the forecast to go over with you. And so once we get to about 30 or 40 shares, we'll get rolling. That's usually when we know it's about time to get going. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. What is going on? Why is my Facebook chat not loading? There we go. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Caitlin. Good morning, Jim, Donna, and Angela over there on Facebook. Amy, thank you for sharing the broadcast. I appreciate it, guys. Again, when you're dealing with a rare event like this, I appreciate you guys sharing the material. That is the number one way to not only support us, but number one way to make sure everyone is informed and up to date on what to expect. We don't really deal with flooding threats a lot here in the state. Matter of fact, this is only the fourth or fifth high risk of excessive rainfall in the last 8 years in Kentucky. So again, can't reiterate enough to you how rare an event like this is, especially in February, which is usually one of our driest months. Lori, good morning to you. Indiana, good morning to you. Callie, good morning. Over on YouTube, Jeanette, Robert, Will, good morning to you on Facebook. Shannon, good morning to you. Why is my Facebook dashboard not wanting to load? Is my internet just completely pooping the bed here? Again, thank you guys for all the shares and likes on both the broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. We are live on both Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds, then we'll dive into our latest key messages for you guys. Where we stand right now, looking at the radar, we're going to look at the newest model data, look at the newest outlook from the SPC, or from the WPC, I should say. Again, lots of different stuff to talk about here. Again, if you're just not tuning in here with us, good morning to you. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. The alert window is open. It opened at 6 a.m. and it will stay open until 6 p.m. on Sunday. So quite the long duration of an event here. The potential to have to expand that window for maybe some backside snow on Sunday as this thing wants to exit. Before we get to that point, though, we do have the potential for some severe weather later on tonight, so we need to talk about that with you. So not only are we dealing with 4 to 8 inches of rainfall here, which is, I don't think enough people are understanding how much rainfall that is, especially within a 24-hour period. That's not normal. That's not. People hear 4 to 8 inches of rainfall and they immediately think, oh, that's not a whole lot. A foot long, a subway's longer than that, right? But a lot of people are forgetting how quick that's coming down. A lot of people are forgetting about how that almost never happens in our state. This is a rare event coming into an area that's already completely saturated. We are running 200% wetter in February than usual. I mean, it is an astounding amount of rainfall and snow that we've had over the last few weeks here. So that said, let's go ahead and get diving into the information here. Again, we're going to look at model data, our latest key messages, the latest WPC outlook, the current radar, how much rain we've already seen in some places, so on and so forth. So I do want to just kind of go ahead and pre-fire. If anyone asks about snowfall threats later on this week, we're not going to get into that. We're only going to talk about the immediate threats for the next 24 to 36 hours. Flow timing, of course, is 6 a.m. Started a couple hours ago to 6 p.m. on Sunday. Greatest impacts will be located inside of that pink zone where 4 to 8 inches of rainfall, yes, you're hearing that correctly, 4 to 8 inches of rainfall is expected within a 24-hour period. Red zone is still at a moderate threat for flash flooding, and I don't want anyone that's in the red zone thinking, oh, thank God I'm not in the pink, it's not going to be bad for me. That red zone is a moderate risk of heavy rainfall. That only comes about 4 to 5, maybe 6 times a year in Kentucky. Again, rather on the rare side as well. So even if you're just in the red thinking, oh goodness, I'm not in that pink zone, I don't have to worry about it. Yes, you do. It's only the yellow zones and greens that aren't as at much of a threat. Additionally, this evening, severe thunderstorms, mainly wind driven, may be seen. And then tomorrow on the backside, sorry if you hear my dog, by the way, he's going outside for the first time this morning. But mainly on the backside tomorrow, potential for some snowflakes on the way. Again, what is going on with my Facebook software not wanting to like load? Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm seeing all of y'all's questions and stuff, making sure we're still good to go. Okay, there we go. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. YouTube's working just fine, but Facebook is like not wanting to load for me. All right, so there's your latest messages here. I'm actually going to show you a bigger version of this map. So if you think, or if you cannot see it perfectly right now, don't worry. I'm going to show you a bigger version of this map here soon. Do not worry. What I want to show you right now, and then we're going to get into all the other stuff again. We're going to look at everyone's forecasting information. We're going to look at the model data, current radar, so on and so forth. But what I want to show you right now is while you were sleeping, southern Kentucky near the Tennessee border is already approaching 3 inches of rainfall. And remind you, a lot of this only started around 2 to 3 a.m. Eastern times. And we had not even hit the peak rainfall rates. All right, this is all happening on the front side. Our peak rainfall rates won't actually come until this afternoon. So we are already approaching 3 inches of rainfall down there for you folks. Let's go ahead and click on the bulletin here in Simpson County, Allen County, even back over here toward Murray, Kentucky, even over here toward Hopkinsville and Trigg County, and then heading over here toward Fulton County. So for those of you that are kind of just like, let's say you're Lexington to points north, you're wondering what everyone else is talking about. Well, the show's already started down there to the south, and that's going to pull all the way up to the north. I'm already seeing pictures coming in out of Bowling Green and Simpson and just south of already waters going onto roadways. So travel is absolutely not advised this morning. Really throughout all of Saturday. Again, I've had so many people ask me, do you think it's safe to drive? I guess if you go slow enough, but again, water and roadways, especially night times, is especially while rainfall is actively coming down, is extremely hard to see. Extremely hard to see. Of course, I guess if you go slow enough, you can. But that flash flooding, when it happens, it's going to come out really fast, guys. And it's no, it's. I will tell you, the last time I checked, there's different guidelines depending upon how much rain you have seen so far over the last few weeks. Our guideline in Kentucky is about 2 inches. That means when we start going over that 2 inch marker, flash flooding will occur. Well, you can go ahead and look at the map. We're already over 2 inches now, the Kentucky-Tennessee border. And I'll kind of give you a quick preview. That's where we're already seeing flash flood warnings pop up. And again, we have not even hit the peak rainfall rates yet. So if you're asking me, is it okay to travel this way, that way, yada, yada, yada? No, it's not. You're putting yourself at danger. Again, it's a joke most times, but on a day like today, it's a very serious thing. Your car is not a boat, folks. Your car is not a boat. Your little Toyota Camry is not going to do anything. You guys with those big boy trucks and big girl trucks, not going to do anything in the water. They're not boats. And I know I'm sounding a bit more blunt this morning, and it's because I don't think we're respecting how much rainfall this is. This is a lot of rainfall. All right. I want to skip that. I want to show you now, going over to the radar real quickly, and then we're going to look at the model data and see the latest numbers. Again, so I click on the radars here. On the western side, we're going to look at the Paducah side real quickly. Some breaks starting to come in now, but I don't expect those to last for very long. Very steady rainfall out here toward Hopkinsville to Bowling Green. Very heavy rainfall now approaching the I-65 corridor, going up toward Louisville, Elizabethtown, Horse Cave, Bowling Green, so on and so forth. Over here toward Eastern Kentucky, your show is just now beginning. If you're in Broadhead, Richmond, Danville, Cynthiana, Frankfort, up here toward Northern Kentucky, don't expect a whole lot of action for you. Down here in very far southeastern Kentucky, this is pretty much most of your rainfall at this point. By the way, while we're talking here, another flash flood warning has just gone up. I'm going to click off the radar here. It has gone up for Allen County, Logan County, and Simpson County. The flash flooding caused by thunderstorms there. Again, for Russellville, Scottsville, Franklin, Auburn, and Adairville. So, again, these flash flood warnings, I do expect that at some point today, we'll look at this map. We'll look at this map, and we'll see a lot of pink. We'll see a lot of pink. A perhaps significant flash flooding event is unfolding. A significant. Again, our grounds are already almost completely saturated. They can only handle about 1 inch to maybe 2 inches of rainfall today, and that's it. And we're projecting 4 to 6 inches of rainfall for a lot of folks. So, I mean, it doesn't take a forecaster to understand that 4 is greater than 2. Flash flooding is going to be the result. And by the way, these are flood warnings for the bodies of water. A lot of the bodies of water are going to go into moderate or maybe even major flood stage, not only today but tomorrow. So an all around just a very long headache of an event here. I'm just gonna go ahead and time this out. This is not a time for jokes. I mean, it's just not. I know that person's an adult too, which is just even more sad. Okay, sorry. The YouTube chats get kind of out of control for some reason. So that's the current flash flood warnings right there. I do expect these to expand more north and east throughout the day. Again, the event's just kind of getting started. All right. What I want to show you now is the current WPC outlook. That's National Weather Service's Weather Prediction Center. Not much has changed with this. It looks like they expanded this side to the east just a little bit and expanded it to the south a little bit and maybe trimmed off the northern side just a smidge, which I think makes perfect sense because of kind of where the models are trending toward. I do think this is probably accurate. You could probably extend this up toward Harrodsburg and maybe toward Berea, but right now you're just kind of pulling hairs. I think this is pretty much good. And for the record, if you're in this red zone as well, you need to treat it like you're in the pink zone. You may not see exactly as much rainfall, but in that last event, you saw a lot more snow. So again, your flash flood guidance is going to be changed a little bit because you still have a lot more liquid on the ground. I know there's a lot of math that goes into flood guidance and so on and so forth. Thank God we don't have to deal with it often because I don't like doing math, but again, I think there's a lot of folks that are vulnerable today in our state. All right, that's the latest outlook from the National Weather Service's Weather Prediction Center. If you want to look at this map further, we already have it posted on our Twitter and Facebook. By the way, we will not post, I want to make this clear. We will not post every single warning to our Facebook. What we will do is post every single warning to our Twitter. We cannot post every single warning to our Facebook. We can only do radar updates every 45 minutes because if we do post every warning on Facebook, our algorithm goes down and then you won't see anything. I know I hate how Facebook operates, but that's how we do it. So if you want to see every single warning that comes out at Weather Now KY on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, on Facebook, of course, we'll do our regular radar updates every 45 minutes like we usually do. And we'll give you little updates here and there also throughout the broadcast. All right, so what I want to do now is kind of just zoom into the local view here and kind of just show you hour by hour what the latest model data is indicating. All right, this is valid for 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. You can see it's pretty accurate, not too far off. Advancing forward here, I'm not really going to go hour by hour and stop here because, guys, quite frankly, it's going to be raining all day. You really don't need an hour by hour forecast here. It's going to be raining all day, just a give or take. Now, there will be some dry slots to start to set up. So what I want to show you here is you see how you have this parallel line, and it's moving generally west to east right now. Eventually, it'll pull more south to north, all right? And when that occurs, a dry slot and warm sector will set up down here in south central to southeastern Kentucky, maybe from Bowling Green to Somerset to Monticello to Harlan, that very far bottom right corner and bottom middle portion of the state. As a result, the rainfall on the northern side or on the top side, you'll start to see this become a lot more red and purple. So as I advance this forward, just real quickly, you'll see what I mean, red and purple. Very, 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 very heavy rainfall this afternoon and evening. And that's kind of what I was talking about. We haven't even reached our peak rainfall rates, and we already have folks down in southern Kentucky already going into flash flooding. We're not even close to the prime time here. Okay, let's see here. Let's back us up a little bit. Again, west to east, and then eventually by sometime a little bit after lunchtime to the afternoon, we'll see that begin to come more south to north. And when that occurs as well, those temperatures down there from Bowling Green to Somerset to Pikeville will skyrocket. And we saw what happened last week, a couple weeks ago, when those temperatures skyrocket in the winter. Yes, we do see a severe threat. No, I don't know what is going on social media, by the way. The amount of messages I've had about people asking me if we're going to have a tornado outbreak with this, we are absolutely not. There will be a tornadic activity to our south, maybe in Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi. But when you have this much rainfall, guys, lasting for 18 to 20 hours, the odds of us seeing robust severe weather is extremely low. Extremely low. Matter of fact, I do want to show you the latest SPC outlook. They do have a 1 out of 5 risk generally for all of Kentucky, a very slim 2 out of 5 risk for that very southern row of counties in southern Kentucky. The tornado outlook is quite literally 2%. It's the lowest scale that can possibly be there. So the tornado odds, while they are not zero, they are extremely, extremely, extremely low. All right, in my eyes, what we're looking at, and the National Weather Service also agrees because you can tell by looking at this map, is if we do see severe weather later on today for that southern row of counties in Kentucky, that will likely be wind driven. So wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour are possible with that. All right, and that's a very realistic scenario that may set up. Again, I don't expect a tornadic outbreak of any means of any sorts. I hardly don't even really expect a tornado to occur. Is there a chance there? Technically, yes. Given the amount of helicity and shear that we're seeing and the position of the lower level jet, but the amount of rainfall we're going to have is going to work to help to keep those storms elevated. And we learned last week that elevated storms equal wind, not tornadoes. All right, so that's my take on that. Advancing this forward, you'll see those really heavy rainfalls kick in late tonight, and then overnight that rain kind of moves out, and then there's some activity on this backside that's starting to catch a lot of folks' eyeballs, and that would be snow. Snow on the backside for Sunday morning is absolutely in question or a realm of possibility. I know we're going to go from 50, 60-degree rains for nonstop for 20 hours to a pocket of wind bursts up to 60 mile per hour to just snow on the backside, which, by the way, the snow is not going to help the flooding threat because, again, snow obviously is liquid. It's going to add to that liquid total. I do want to show you the latest on those liquid totals, by the way. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. And again, a lot of folks are going to look at this and think 4 to 6 inches of rain is not a lot. I'm telling you, it is an incredible amount of rainfall. An incredible amount of rainfall, especially for the February timeframe. And especially coming off back-to-back weeks where we saw snow, where we saw heavy rains. We are running 200% wetter than average in February. Our soil can only handle about 2 more inches of rainfall. So whenever you take this and look at that and have all that context in mind, and you just do a little bit of math, 2 inches of rainfall is all of our soil can handle, and we're projecting 4 to 6 inches of rainfall in the heaviest swath. Well, we're already easily over flash flood guidelines, and now you're talking about the potential for bodies of water to overrun and go out into the streets and stuff. So, an absolute mess occurring not only today for the flash flood threat, but extending into Sunday, extending into Monday, where those bodies of water may take time to get higher and higher. I will say the one saving grace about this is that the Ohio River may be not very bad. I'm sorry, my brain, I have not been in bed. As you guys could probably tell by the posting, my brain's absolutely fried, so my wording's not the greatest. But at least the Ohio River, yes, you will see 2 to 3 inches of rainfall along the Ohio River there, but it's not going to be nearly as bad as these bodies of water down here in central and eastern and southwestern Kentucky. So again, heaviest rainfall absolutely lines up with that forecast that we saw from the National Weather Service and a perhaps historic amount of rainfall set up as that. Again, I think we could see places go all the way up to 7 to 8, maybe even 9 inches of rainfall today. That is an astounding amount of rainfall. Even and for you guys that are looking at the flood zones and whatnot, even in non-flood zones today, you're going to see flash flooding occur. So I wouldn't even be too worried about whether am I in a flood zone or am I safe, or everyone is pretty much at the potential for flash flooding today, no matter almost where you're at. So just to put that very bluntly with you. So that is that on the rainfall. I do want to show you the latest snowfall totals projected by this model. And it may be a quick hitter of 1 to 2 inches, in some places even up to 3 inches of snowfall on that backside. I would not be surprised, but again, a lot of folks are going to look at that and say, yay, fun snow. I look at that and say, oh my gosh, that's more liquid to add to the ground. I'm a snow lover. I'm a winter lover. I love this time of year. But I don't want to see snowfall on that backside. It's just not going to be fun. By the way, also, we crash down into the single digits after this is all said and done. This model can only see so far out. But we crash down into the single digits. So not a very, very fun time ahead. Again, here's our latest totals. These are live totals coming in right now. This is what's already fallen on the ground while you were sleeping. Aaron, thank you for becoming a supporter on YouTube and gifting 10 subs on YouTube. Wow, enjoy the no ads on YouTube. Thanks to Aaron. Thank you for gifting 10 supporter memberships on YouTube, Aaron. That's crazy. Thank you for your insane generosity. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you so much. Also on Facebook, Amy, thank you for your 1,000 stars. Crystal, thank you for your 20 stars. Ricky, thank you for your 200 stars. Sunny, thank you for your 20 stars, and so on and so forth. Thank you guys for your insane generosity. I appreciate it a lot. Enjoy you guys' no ads on YouTube. That's insane. Again, Noodlehead, we've done that, and at this point, I don't recommend anyone going outside to actively clean them in the middle of a flash flood threat. It is what it is at this point. All right. Again, by the way, I want to reiterate, we will not post every single warning to our Facebook because the algorithm will mess up and you guys won't be able to see any of our posts. But we will be posting every single warning to our Twitter. Of course, we will do our radar updates like we usually do on Facebook, but we're not going to post every single warning as they come in. But on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, we will. So if you want to make an account, follow us over there. You'll see everything over there. And of course, you'll get your regular updates on Facebook and YouTube. Chelsea with a $1.99 super chat on YouTube. Thank you very much. 1.87 for BG, which you no Bowling Green's up to the 6 to 7 inch marker, not 1.87. Jen, thank you. Caitlin, there's technically a 2% risk, but that's extremely, extremely low. By the way, thank you for all the shares and likes on both the videos on both Facebook and YouTube. I appreciate you guys' support. Again, sharing is the best way to support us. Yeah, I do want to see if I can share some photos with you guys. Let me pull this over here real quickly. Nikki with the 200 stars. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I want to see if there's any photos. I know I saw some earlier. I'm sure I'll have some for the next broadcast with you guys. Oh, I do want to show you this. I just noticed this came in. Let me show you this real quickly. Where are you at? Why is it not updating? Okay. Here's the latest discussion from the Weather Prediction Center out of the National Weather Service. You can see it includes a really good chunk of Kentucky here. Try to zoom in a little bit more so I can get you some more nameplates here. I'm going to click on this and just kind of read it with you guys. Sometimes I use big fancy wordings in here. I have no idea why. Sometimes I think it's to make themselves sound smarter, but I'll kind of break it down for you. So, mesoscale precipitation discussion. Sorry, I need some more water. An expansive axis of heavy showers and thunderstorms with strong cell training concerns will be promoting a widespread flash flood threat over the next several hours across portions of the Ohio Tennessee Valley region and Mid South. And the latest GOES IR satellite imagery, that is, I'll show you real quickly. What they're referring to is this right here. Basically, it's an infrared radar. All right. Find my tab here. In the latest of that imagery, shows an expansive area of heavy shower and thunderstorm activity impacting eastern Arkansas, up across central and western Tennessee, and much of central and southern Kentucky. Light to moderate stratiform rains are noted north of here, closer to the Ohio River, and also into the central Appalachians. The convection that is organizing is associated with strong warm air advection, which is being aided by a powerful southwest low-level jet. You guys learn why I never like to set through lectures. This is all I do the entire time. Just blah, 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 blah. Basically, what they're saying is the environment is conducive or is supportive of back building and repeated rain showers and thunder showers over several hours. Again, rainfall rates may go as high as 1 to 2 inches per hour, and 2 to 4 inches of rain may be seen by this afternoon alone, and we still have another 2 to 4 inches beyond that. So they do note here at the bottom, like we've been mentioning, given the extremely sensitive and saturated soil conditions and already elevated stream flows for many locations, these rainfall totals over the next several hours are likely to begin resulting in widespread flash floodings. Additional discussions will be issued this afternoon to update what should evolve into a high impact and life threatening flash flood event in time. So, for those people that have emailed me, there have been several people that emailed me saying I'm just using hyperbole messaging to get more clicks. This is coming straight from the National Weather Service at this point. So you can see that we're issuing the same type of wording. We're matching the same type of energy that the National Weather Service is. So again, this is a good verification of here. You can hear from someone else now instead of just hearing it from us. This is a life-threatening event. If you do not have to travel today, do not travel. Treat it like it's a snow day, whatever it may be. Thank goodness it's a Saturday. Most folks are off of work. I understand if you have to go to work and you work on the weekends. Again, take it extremely slow. Look at your traffic outlooks. And again, don't be afraid to tell your boss no, you can't come in. Again, your life is more important than a job. It is. I, I I had someone ask me today if they could travel down toward Hopkinsville for a basketball game. I'm like, right in the middle of peak rainfall. I'm just like, is the basketball important or is seeing your family tomorrow important? Again, flash flooding. I will tell you, flooding is the second deadliest mode of weather that there is. It's not tornadoes. It's not. It's not hail. It's not anything else. Not lightning. It's heat and then floods. It's not. It's not what you think it might be. So, and most of those flood deaths come from people inside of vehicles. So, stay home. Stay tuned to the forecasting information, not only by us but by the National Weather Service, and really monitor things as you now see more flash flood threats going up, more flash flood warnings going up down in southern Kentucky. Dave asked a great question. How much would we have seen if this would have been snow? So, according to this model here, for example, it shows Bowling Green at 6.5 inches of rainfall. That is a whopping 65 inches of snow. So it kind of puts into some perspective for you what we're looking at here. For this model, it also shows 8 inches of rain down toward Murray. For perspective, that's 80 inches of snowfall. So it's a 10-to-1 ratio. So that adds some great context to understand just how much liquid we're looking at here. This is a very, very large amount of liquid. Yeah, Critter Fresh. This is moisture streamlining straight from the Gulf. Straight from the Gulf. Yes, Caitlin. Do you think there will be any power outages with this? So with this, of course, power lines or power poles are sub. I'm sorry, my brain is fried right now. Um, with this, of course, power outages are possible. Of course, you've got the flood threat, and then you've got the backside wind gust threat that we talked about. Again, that's a lot of stress to be putting down on things, and we do crash down into the teens after this is all said and done. So they're talking about maybe the potential for a flash freeze on Monday morning. So just a disgusting 48 hours ahead. Truly, everyone. Kara, if we do see any severe weather at all, it would be this afternoon and evening. It would not be anything remotely close to where we are now. And again, the only threat I really see are wind gusts up to 60 mile per hour. Is the spillway going to be able to handle the Barron River with all this rain in Allen County? Again, I'm not keen on infrastructure support so far. There's a lot that goes into that. I would just note that flash flooding can overtake a lot of things. Look to North Carolina. Look to Eastern Tennessee. Look to a lot of those places that thought they were fine, and then flash flooding happened, and then boom. I'm not saying we're going to see biblical rains like they saw. Keep in mind, they saw 20 to 30 inches of rain. We're seeing 5 to 7. The problem is, though, we are so unbelievably saturated. Everything on our ground is soft right now. Basically, a big old sponge out there, if you will. It's there's going to be a lot of impacts from this. Again, Badani, we're not expecting this rain to really exit until late tonight, going into Sunday, and then on Sunday we may have some backside snow to occur. Again, Mike, my message is the same to you as it is to everybody else. Flash flooding may be a threat at that time. Avoid traveling if you can. Of course, if you absolutely have to travel, reduce your speed by 80% to avoid hydroplaning and to be able to have time to have that reaction time to slow down to flash flooding that may pop up randomly at times in roadways. All right, we're just going to ban this KY person. I just don't understand. Maybe I won't ban. Maybe I'll just put him in timeout for a little bit longer. So the higher wind gust would be when the rain ends. That's a great question. I don't think I actually covered that. So I want to cover the wind gust with you real quickly. So as you can see, if you look up here at the top left, here's your day and time, by the way. So you can kind of follow along up there with the day and time if you'd like. Not too many wind gusts to worry about. up until tonight. So again, here's now until tonight. You have some wind gusts going on up there right now, but not too entirely terrible. It's over about 40 mph. That's when you start getting a little bit of the eye raising, but not too terribly bad until we get to tonight, and then that line kind of lifts north there. We'll start to see some winds kick up as the QLCS starts to get going, mainly around I-65 to points east, and then but mainly it's the backside after the rain gets done. When that snow starts to move in, that's when we may see widespread 30 to 45 mph wind gusts that could cause some issues on the backside of this after the event is technically done. Absolutely. Keisha, or I don't know. I'm sure I just absolutely butchered the name. But yes, I absolutely do expect more flood warnings, more flash flood warnings to be issued throughout the day. Heaviest of sorry, there's my alarm to do the broadcast. The heaviest of rains will be from basically around lunchtime to around dinner time. Is the easiest way to think of it. Well, a little bit after dinner time. Basically, from around 1 p.m. to about 10 p.m. Eastern time. Those are going to be your heaviest rainfall time frames. Again, here are the outlooks right now. You do have a flash flood warning down in southern Hopkinsville. Again, all day long. Hopkinsville is going to be one of those places that does receive the heaviest of rainfall, unfortunately. And here's that outlook from the National Weather Service's Storm Prediction Center. If these words are still too small, I don't really know what to do there for you. I want to say thank you guys again for all the shares, the likes on the broadcast, both on Facebook and YouTube. You guys have been insanely supportive this morning. All the star donations, Nikki with the 50, Nikki with 250. Sorry about Nikki with 300. Sorry about that. Sorry for missing your star donations. Thank you very much, Nikki. Thank you to Aaron once again for gifting 10 memberships on YouTube. Enjoy your no ads on YouTube. Although I'm pretty sure I already have ads turned off anyway. Oh, I don't. It's supposed to be turned off. Again, want to reiterate, I think for maybe the ninth time on this broadcast, there is technically a tornado threat for tonight. It's 2%, but that is quite literally the lowest you can get without being 0%. I don't really see a legitimate tornado threat for us tonight. I think if we do see severe weather, it'll be between 5 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, and it'll be for wind gust. I don't think it'll necessarily be for tornadic activity. What's the peak mean? That is the highest zone. That is a 70% chance to see the highest end of the total amount of rainfall. I don't know why they word it like that. Basically, this is the highest zone for excessive rainfall. Then a red is the 3 out of 4 moderate risk, and then yellow is 2 out of 4 slight risk. He's doing great, Laura. Thank you for asking. Yeah, and by the way, all these maps that we're showing to you guys, even this one right here, our latest key messages and everything, this is all on our Facebook and Twitter. Again, if you don't know our Twitter, it is, if I can find, oh, it's over here. Here's our Twitter, by the way. Again, it's at Weather Now KY over there on Twitter, or just search Weather Now Kentucky. It'll pop up, and on Facebook, of course, you guys know Weather Now Kentucky on Facebook. All the maps are all over our social medias. The highest predicted amount of rain again is going to be that 5 to 7 inch zone. Again, here's the latest model data for you. Here, where am I? What am I? I'm already on the dude. My brain is done. Hilljack, no problem. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. I appreciate that. And again, we're probably going to be live several times throughout the day, just updating you guys on where we're at, looking at different images, looking at different cameras, just kind of giving you guys an idea of what's happening around the state. Because there's a lot of people want to travel this weekend. So again, I want to kind of give you guys what's going on around the state, letting you guys know what we're seeing, where we're at with things. Again, I want to reiterate, there's still a lot of people asking. The risk for severe weather is there tonight, but it's extremely low. It is extremely low. The only threat for real severe weather that I see tonight is going to be wind gust. There is technically a 2% tornado risk, but that is the lowest you can get without being 0%. So it's extremely low. And if we do see severe weather, it will only be that southern row of counties that's bordering the Kentucky-Tennessee border. That's it. The other 110 counties in the state, there will not be any severe weather threat. Hopefully that clears that up. I don't know who is on social media like spreading around that there's going to be a severe outbreak for us in Kentucky, but whoever's done it, let me know so we can reach out and see if they need some help. because they're just scaring you off for clicks at this point. Because there was never ever going to be a severe outbreak for Kentucky today. Now to our south, yes, but not in Kentucky. Yes, there will be a chance at some backside snow early on the morning on Sunday. All right, I think we're good there. I think we pretty much answered every question that we can. Yeah, my brain is done. My brain is done. I'm gonna go grab some coffee, try to refresh, get going for you guys because it's gonna be a long day. If you did miss anything in this broadcast, both of these videos will be on our Facebook and YouTube for you to watch playback anytime. Of course, all this information is on our Twitter and Facebook as well for you to look at there. Basically, it's a Facebook page. I have seen them scare everyone. Oh yeah, and there's gonna be people out there that do that, but I think a lot of people have to start realizing that that's where the internet's going, and we have to like maybe exercise some sort of context to understand that maybe if someone's done that once, twice in the past, maybe they're doing it to you again. Maybe don't trust them anymore. So on and so forth. But anyway, just got here. Alan says, "Is this something like once in a year, 100-year rain?" No, no, that was what happened after Helene in North Carolina. That was once in a 100-year rain. This is not going to be that, but this will have its own respectable threat that we need to respect. But anyway, so that said, I've seen a few Mets on Twitter saying the tornado threat. Again, there is technically a 2% tornado threat, but there's differences in wording things, right, guys? A 2% tornado threat is quite literally the lowest that you can get without it being 0%. So here, for example, is the tornado threat from the National Weather Service's Storm Prediction Center. You can see this is green. The green is the lowest one that you can have without being 0%. So yes, there is technically a tornado threat tonight of 2% odds. But I don't, when you're talking about hours and 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 hours of rainfall, right? It's really hard for that surface-based fuel to get there to support tornadic activity, right? Do I see an elevated severe threat? Yes. Say it was a greasing, yeah, ridgy. So also with this, I don't look at any other meteorologist things. I don't. I don't want it to influence my forecast. So I've had a lot of people asking me, well, what do you think about this Weather Channel? What do you think about WKYT? What do you think about WDRB? The final answer is I don't look at it. So I don't know what they're saying. Quite frankly, I don't care what they're saying. Again, and that's not like to be arrogant or rude or mean. I like to make my own forecast. I like to go off of what I'm saying along with the National Weather Service. I like to focus on those two things. Once I start trying to look around at all these different forecasts and everything that's going on, guys, it's too much. It's too much. I'm already putting in 18 to 20 hours to make my own forecast, let alone trying to look at someone else's, so on and so forth. So, again, not to be rude or to be mean or to anything. I just want to explain. Hey, when you guys mention other people's forecasts and stuff, if you want to trust them, that's cool. But I have no idea what you're talking about. But yeah. So, by the way, Caitlin asked, elevated, are you talking about wind gust and rain? So, yeah, elevated severe storms support the risk for heavier rainfall totals and for wind gusts, which is exactly what we're seeing today. What you need for tornadic activity is surface-based storms. And can that occur? Maybe on that very far southern row of counties toward the Tennessee-Kentucky border. Maybe a small chance, but it's a very small window, very, very small window. The better threat for tornadic activity, of course, as you can see per this map, is going to be Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, so on and so forth. And again, just want to reiterate before someone takes that completely out of context, that was not to be mean to any other forecaster. Everyone's great. Everyone does their own thing. Everyone's learning in some type of fashion. But as for me, I just simply don't look at other people's forecasts. I don't look at phone forecasts. I don't look at anything like that because I don't want it to influence my forecast, right? So just want to make that clear because I have had a lot of questions about why the Weather Channel maybe isn't forecasting this as very hard. Why maybe some National Weather Service offices are forecasting it hard while others aren't necessarily doing it as hard. I don't know. I don't talk to them. Again, I kind of stay in my own lane here. When people reach out and want to ask me questions, we answer them, and when they want to talk, communicate, we do. But outside of that, I mainly stay in my own lane here. I don't look at other people's forecasts because, quite frankly, it does nothing for me. And like the advice I told you guys, pick 2 or 3 forecasters locally that you trust and stick with them. Once you start trying to look at 7, 8 different forecasts, guys, you're just going to confuse yourselves. And you're going to confuse people's informations with other people's informations, right? So just pick 2 or 3 that you like. Whether it's me, whether it's not me, that's up to you, of course. And just roll with them. Just roll with them. That's always been my advice to you guys. So, that said, I'm going to take a break here. Again, I'm going to stay watching the radar for you guys, let you guys know of any updates. Again, follow our Twitter for every single warning. On Facebook, we'll post radar updates every 45 minutes to an hour or so. Outside of that, we'll do several broadcasts throughout the day to keep you guys updated. Till then, I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. Until next time, stay safe, folks.